Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multichromes, palettes, clearly, blush, highlight, bronzer, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter. Today we are going to be doing all of my really colorful palettes and doing a collection video, possibly a little bit of decluttering, but mostly collection video. If that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me. We're getting into it right now. So I did forget to talk about this one in my blue-green palette video, but this is the Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette, so I did just want to include it here. Alright, and now we've got a ton of palettes to talk about. Let's talk about these little mini palettes first from Juvia's Place. I have the Berries by Juvia's Place, really pretty color story, definitely keeping that one. I've got the Sweet Pinks by Juvia's Place, definitely keeping that. The Violets, which looks like that. And the Mauves, which looks like that. Definitely keeping all of those. The colorful palettes are probably my favorite collection of palettes, so the likelihood of declutter for this one is going to be a little bit lower. That's okay. I have this Frankenslay palette, which I have a video up on my channel for this. This is by Fatal Beauty, and it looks like this. Very beautiful little color story. Definitely keeping that. I have two more of these Wander Beauty palettes. I have this Seascape palette, which looks like this. I love this seafoam green kind of color. And then I have this one, which is called Rush, which is just a warm tone color story. I think I can probably let this one go because I have several others, so I'll be decluttering the Rush palette. I have from Poppy Cosmetics the Neon Drip palette, which looks like this. It's a really, really pretty color story. I do really enjoy this particular palette. This green shade doesn't show up as vibrantly as I wish it would, but otherwise it's a great palette. I'm going to keep it. So let's start going through my Colourpop 9 pans now. I have It's My Pleasure. These, I'm going to keep all these, but I'll show you what they look like. That's It's My Pleasure. I have the Mar palette, which looks like this. The That's Taupe palette, which looks like that. Mint to Be, which looks like that. I have Blue Moon, which looks like that. Strawberry Shake, which looks like that. I think Colourpop kind of got themselves into a little rut of doing just monochromatic palettes. This is Aha Honey, beautiful. I have Orange You Glad. So I wish they would do things that are more multiple colors now. This is the, what is this? The Watermelon? Yeah, Main Squeeze is what it's called, which is interesting because watermelon is one of the few fruits you don't actually squeeze, so that was an odd choice of names, but whatever. Just My Luck, which looks like that. I have Blowin' Smoke, which looks like that. Wine and Only, which looks like this. This is one of my favorites from Colourpop. And then I have Making Mauves, which looks like this. High Tide, which looks like that. I have Miss Bliss, which looks like this. Baby Got Peach, which looks like that. Going Coconuts, which looks like this. Lilac You a Lot, which looks like this. I'm almost done, you guys, I promise. Ooh La La, which looks like this. I love this shattered shade for me. Huge mess. Aura and Out, which looks like this. And In a Trance, which looks like this. So that, I think, is all of my Colourpop 9 pans. Oh, right. What do we want to talk about next? I guess we'll talk about these little Huda Neon palettes next. I have the greenish kind of colored one, and then I also have this kind of pinky toned coral one. Can I get them both in the frame? So these are two of the Huda palettes. I have the green one and the coral kind of one. I do really like both of these, so I'm going to hang on to these. I know a lot of people didn't like them, but I haven't had too much trouble with them, so I'll hang on to those. Some more palettes that I definitely won't be getting rid of. Kaleidos Club Nebula. This is an absolutely beautiful palette. Nice vibrant color story, so we'll hang on to that one. I do have a bunch of the BH Sweet Shop palettes. I've got the Bubblegum palette. Oh, let me open these for you. So I have Bubblegum. I have Orange Sorbet, which looks like that. And Cotton Candy, which looks like that. Pistachio, one of my favorites, looks like that. And the Sweet Shop palette, which looks like that. I'm sorry, this is the Cherry on Top palette. I did also order the Sugar Cone palette, but I haven't gotten a chance to get that actually in yet, so I do have that one on its way to me. And then I have Pinky Rose Exotic Peacock. This is Pinky Rose Exotic Peacock. '80s Baby. And this one is called Obsessed. So definitely will be hanging on to all three of those. I need to use those some more for sure. I have this NYX Ultimate palette, which I've kept around for a really long time, but again, I just think I have so many other rainbow palettes at this point that I don't need to keep this one, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter that. I have two of these palettes from Sugar Pill. I have the Capsule 2, which looks like this. It kind of reminds me of the Jouer tan lines, but like actually good quality. And then I have the Capsule 1, which is more of this kind of beautiful color story here. So definitely going to keep both of those. I love that capsule format. That's a really cool format for them. I have the Dreamy 2 from Nabla, which is this beautiful kind of dark and smoky palette. Definitely going to keep that. I have the original Kaleidos Escape Pod palette, which looks like that. I have Colourpop Misunderstood. This is an awesome palette, and this is why I was able to declutter some of those Urban Decay singles that I have, because I have Jetsam and Facile in this palette that I think are really pretty, so I don't need to keep duplicates of that kind of colorway. I also have this Zodiac palette from Kathleen Lights. This is a really beautiful palette. I haven't used it in ages, and I really need to get back to it. I think it's just a beautiful color story. I love this pop of blue for Pisces. So yeah, definitely need to play with this one some more. I have two from Woma Beauty. I have this little one right here. And this one right here. Both of these were part of the collection that I won from them for the Coming to America collection, so that's pretty cool. Then I have the Tarte, what is this? Something About Your Dreams. Make Believe in Yourself, or some stupid name like that, but I really like the format of this one, and the quality is still really good, so definitely going to keep it. I have the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. If you've never seen this palette or played with this palette, you definitely should. These are like the most foiled, like super shock, almost quality shimmers that you could ever see. They're so, so pretty. They're dumb pretty. So, I mean, I don't think you could get like a better formula. These are absolutely fantastic. I wish Flower Beauty would come out with more palettes that looked like this, that were this exact formula, because they are like, shut up and take my money, you know what I mean? Like, they're just that nice. I have the Raw Beauty and Colourpop at Forest Sight palette. This is a really pretty palette, and I think it actually dupes out some of the shades from the Subculture palette pretty nicely. I don't have Subculture. I never purchased it because everybody complained about it so much, so I like that I have this one instead. I have the Glam Light Street Taco palette. Such a cute little palette. It looks like this. Very cute. I love this orange shade. These purples are fantastic. This green is awesome, so I'll definitely be hanging on to that one. Alright, and I guess I'll talk about this one next. This is an Ofra palette I haven't gotten a chance to try yet. This is called Empowered, and it's that kind of like money green palette. I'm definitely going to keep it and give it a try, but if I don't like the formula of it, I'll be passing this one along. I have not touched this yet because right after I got it was when the whole Ofra scandal started, so I haven't touched this one yet. I have the Makeup Maniacs Cosmetics Strawberry Lemonade palette, which looks like this. Very beautiful color story. Nice bright pinks and corals and oranges, so I'll definitely hang on to this one. I love the formula on it. I have the Alien Cosmetics Strawberry Milkshake palette. This one is a really nice palette. It's much better than the other Alien Cosmetics quad that I had, which makes me think that that other one was like a private label, and this might be something they actually like worked a little harder on. So I definitely like this one a lot better. I'm debating about picking up the Not Normal palette, so I may pick that up at some point in the future, but it's a permanent palette, so I don't have to rush on that one. I have the Rebel Rouge Labs Gods and Monsters palette, and I love the color story of this one. I think it's a really fun and interesting color story. You can make a lot of cool looks out of it, so I'll definitely be hanging on to this. I have two from Odin's Eye, which we'll go over next. I have the Norns palette. I love how heavy these palettes are, which looks like this. Very, very beautiful. This whole bottom row is just like money. And then I have the Alva 2, which I got in a mystery box, and I was so happy to get this in a mystery box, so that made the whole box worthwhile for me. And that's what this one looks like. I do not use these two pressed glitters, but everything else in here is beautiful. Now, I guess let's do Juvia's Place next because I have a lot from them. I have the Queen palette from Fumi and Juvia's Place. I think this is such a cool concept. I love the little like Queen of Hearts playing card type aesthetic for it, and I like the color story, so I'll definitely be hanging on to this one. This was really hard to get a hold of. I did get it directly from the brand's website, but it took like several restocks for me to be able to get it. This is the Zulu by Juvia's Place. And I'll be keeping all these, so I'm just going to show them quick. This is Tribe by Juvia's Place. This is like the unsung hero color of this palette because it has like an iridescent green shift to that champagne shade. So it's really, really pretty when it catches the light. This is the Nomad, perfect for fall and Halloween kind of looks. I love this chocolatey brown shade, so pretty. Warrior 3, this is a gift from a friend. Very, very beautiful, beautiful color story. I have the Festival by Juvia's Place, which looks like this. And this is the Magic Mini by Juvia's, which I really like. Lauren May Beauty has a beautiful video on this palette doing 3 different looks, and I tried to mimic one of her looks, and it was so, so pretty. So I definitely want to keep this around and keep playing with it. And then I also have the Saharan by Juvia's Place, which looks like this. have this little NYX Ultimate Edit palette. I haven't used this one yet, but I would like to give it a try. I kind of like it since it's a little bit more compact than that big rainbow palette, so I may keep this around, especially for like a little travel. This would be easy to toss in a bag and take with me. I have the Profusion Neon palette again. I love these little Profusion palettes. I know some people don't like them, but I really enjoy using them, so definitely going to hang on to this one. The Anastasia Jackie Aina palette, a classic. This is such a nice palette. I love the shades that are in here. Every single one is perfect, so I'm going to be keeping that one for sure. I have the LA Splash Cosmetics Classic Horror palette. This is a palette that I got from Try Beauty Box, and I really like this one. It's all mattes, but they are just kind of like these grungified versions of the rainbow, so I really, really like that one. And the art on it is just ridiculously cool. I have the Woma Beauty. This is the Black Magic color palette, and it looks like this. These shades up here are not as soft as the Coming to America palette. These are a little bit more like a gritty type texture, but I do think they still come out looking really pretty, and I love the mattes that they chose to complement the shimmers. I have the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I think this was also a gift from a friend. I think it was a Christmas gift one year, and I do really like it. I love some of these like darker shades. This is actually a time where they did something with color that actually like looks colorful, so I'll definitely be keeping this one. I'm just kind of tired of their naked palettes. I have the Anastasia Riviera palette. I need to get into this one more. This is a beautiful color story. This like denim blue here is really calling to me, so definitely will be keeping that one. And then I have this BH Cosmetics La Vie en Prince palette. This is a really nice palette too. I think kind of an unsung hero. Alright, next up, I guess let's do this stack here. I have the Cara Beauty. This is one of their like magazine style palettes. This looks really pretty. I love these grungy greens here and this kind of chartreusey green. I love this quad of blues here. This is a really pretty palette, so I'll definitely be hanging on to this one. Lunar Beauty Moonspell, as if I even need to like say I'm going to hang on to this. I'm definitely going to hang on to this, but that's what this one looks like. Very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. I need to get back into this palette again too. And I have, I think, one more Lunar Beauty in here, which is Strawberry Dreams. This is one that I was gifted by accident from Lunar Beauty because they shipped me somebody else's order. But that's what this one looks like, and it's really pretty too. They were gracious enough to let me keep it, which I really appreciated. So that gives me, I think, 3 palettes from them. I have Moonspell, Strawberry Dream, and Lunar Eclipse. I think that's all the ones I have from them. I have a little collection of Nomad here. So I have Tokyo Harajuku, which looks like this. Very beautiful palette. I have the Nomad and Teal palette, which looks like this. Again, very, very pretty. I have the Nomad Land of Ice and Fire palette, which I think this is so cute. And I love this little like gnome guy in here. It's adorable. So definitely need to play with that one some more. I have this one, which they actually retired, so most people don't have it. It's the Beijing palette, but I think it is such a pretty palette, and the shimmers in here are so ridiculously good. So I'm hanging on to that one for dear life. And then this one I actually won from the brand, so I got it for free because I guessed the location of this palette before they had only given one clue out, and then I guessed what the palette was. So they went ahead and sent this to me for free, which I really appreciated, and I think it's a really pretty color story, so definitely going to keep that one. Plus fond memories. And now my last stack of palettes here. So I have the Purple Kush palette from Ruby May Cosmetics. Although I'm not a participant in 420, I do really like this color story, so I'm definitely going to hang on to that. I have this Essence Water palette. This is a really pretty like soft blue palette, and you do get a couple pops of like neutral in here. I think this is really nice, and I'm definitely hanging on to it. This is the Peachy Queen Cosmetic Tiffany's palette, which I think they had to rename because I think Tiffany's got upset or whatever with that, but there's a video up on my channel with this one. It's a really pretty palette as well. I do kind of wish that there was more of like a matte teal in here instead of the white and the black, and these two are very, very similar in tone, so I don't think they were both necessary, but I do like the palette, and I'll definitely be keeping it. Oh, another Nomad palette. This is the Lago Como palette, and it looks like this. Such a pretty color story. I love these blues, and Nomad formula is fantastic. So pretty much everything I've gotten from them, I've been really happy to have in my collection. This is the It's Freaking Bats palette from Shrub Cosmetics and Butte Bean, singular. This palette is beautiful. Definitely will not be leaving my site. And then the last one to talk about is the Pure and Raw Beauty Christie palette, which I recently just picked up. This is the first side, and then this is the other side. I do really like the colors that she picked out in here, and the shimmers are really nice. That white is ridiculous, so definitely will be keeping this one too. Alright, and with that said, that's all of my colorful palettes. I only decluttered 2, which I'm honestly surprised that I did that. I really enjoy all these other palettes though, so I don't think that they need to leave just yet. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tune in for the other videos that I'm going to have going through the rest of my makeup collection, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!